What is up, my powerful mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 men's designer, quiet luxury, old money style fragrances, and I've also got 4 honorable mentions here as well. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video.
Die Verbrennung der Amerikaner.
Now, what appeals to me about the old money / quiet luxury aesthetic is that it's understated, and that is the preeminent word here. That is the optimal word, understated. The thing about wealth with my generation in particular is that we associate certain brands with having money and being rich and wealthy, and it's all about branding.
New card. What do you think?
Oh, very nice. Look at that.
The thing with wearing really bold brands like Gucci, for example, is that those $500 Gucci belts, they look great to some people, but to me, they're quite in your face, they're quite obnoxious, and they really just let people know that you spent $500 on a little scrap of leather. So if that's how you want to present yourself to the world, then by all means, continue doing that. If that works for you, then it works for you. But the thing with old money and quiet luxury is that it's a more understated approach to showing off wealth. It's not even showing off wealth, it's about having wealth and carrying with you that mindset that you're just the same as everyone else and you're going to be clean, prim and proper, and you're going to present yourself to the world in that sort of way. So the first 4 fragrances I will be talking about, and keep in mind that everything I'm going to be talking about here today is a designer fragrance. For this video in particular, we will exclusively be talking about designer men's fragrances. I think designer fragrances can smell fantastic, and if you want to spend your money on a niche fragrance, then please continue doing so. These are going to be solid entry-level options for a lot of people. Some of them are going to be a little beyond entry-level, given that they'll be costing $200, $300 Australian, but for the most part, these are going to be designer fragrances, designer fragrance prices, and that means they're more accessible to pretty much everyone. The first 4 fragrances I'm going to be talking about are Nautica Voyage, Versace Pour Homme, Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir, and my personal pick of these 4, Valentino Uomo Acqua. Valentino Uomo Acqua in particular, it's fresh, aquatic, and powdery. It's sort of like a Dior Homme style fragrance, except quite aquatic and very fresh. I love the way this one smells. It's one of the most Moorish fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. It's extremely classy, understated, and sophisticated. It can be a little pricey at over $200 Australian, but if you can find it on discount at a good price, definitely pick this one up. It's the epitome of quiet luxury, old money in terms of designer fragrances. Now, the cheapest of the bunch is Nautica Voyage. It's only about $20 Australian. You can pick this up at pretty much every single chemist warehouse in the country, and it is a great option for anybody looking to smell fresh, clean, and sophisticated at a really affordable price. This is a very solid option for somebody looking to transition away from those sort of more obnoxious juvenile teenager style fragrances like Lynx Africa and just those sort of style of scents. This is a great option, and considering how cheap it is, it's still very classy. Versace Pour Homme is another solid option. This one is pretty similar to Nautica Voyage, except it's a little more floral. And Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir is very fresh and spicy with a prominent vetiver note. Plus, it has one of the best looking bottle designs of all time, in my personal opinion. This one is very classy, great on a colder night wearing a suit. Now that I've got the honorable mentions out of the way, let's go into the top 5. And the first one is John Varvaros's Artisan. This is a fresh citrus forwards white floral fragrance. It's got a very recognizable bottle design. This is one of the most luxurious fragrances I've ever smelled. It is so good, so fresh, and with those white floral notes, it actually performs incredibly well. We're talking about 7 hours plus with 2 sprays. This is at home on a summer day, but I think the cheat code is wearing it in the winter time. This is such a classy fragrance, I can't emphasize that enough. John Varvaros Artisan is in my top 5 for favorite fresh fragrances. This is just to die for. It is pure class, it is luxury, and it will elevate every single outfit you wear. Even if you're just wearing swim shorts and like a simple t-shirt, Artisan will elevate that absolutely. Next up is for the more mature man watching this video, and that is Vince Camuto's Virtu. This is a classy, sophisticated leather fragrance with a prominent woody note, and it's also quite aromatic as well. It's got a really classy bottle design. It would look great on a shelf. Performance for this one is incredible. It's got really solid projection. I would be careful and go easy on the sprays. You only need about 2 sprays of this. The combination of the aromatics with the leather makes it come across like this damp, mossy, leathery fragrance, and it's just very classy, very sophisticated. And if you're over the age of 40, this is a very solid option, and you can pick this one up at some price lines for under $70 Australian.
Nice.
Next up is an all-time classic, and it's spoken about with reverence in the fragrance community for a reason, and that is Bentley Intense for Men. This is boozy, smells like whiskey and leather, smells absolutely incredible. Performance is solid as well. I've gotten a lot of compliments for this one, however not every person that smells this will give you a compliment for it. It's more popular with, I would say, people over the age of 30, but you'll still find people under that age that will give you compliments for wearing this one. Performance is incredible, the overall DNA is incredible, and even though it's got like plastic packaging, it still has a classy and sophisticated look. This is one of those fragrances that as soon as you smell it out in the wild, you will recognize it immediately. It's very masculine, it's very daring, and there is just something about this fragrance and the combination of notes that make it very luxurious. Next up is Ralph Lauren Safari for Men. This is an ultra masculine fragrance, and it's at the crossroads between old school and new school. It is the definition of old money and quiet luxury. It's got a great bottle design, and the fragrance itself, fresh, clean, spicy and soapy. It reminds me of Ted Lapidus' Pour Homme and YSL's Kouros a little bit, but it also reminds me of a score of other men's fragrances. This is something that you will wear and you will fall in love with it the more that you wear it. The first impressions may not be the best, but if you give it a little bit of a chance, if you give it some time on your skin, you're going to fall in love with this fragrance. That is a guarantee. It can be a little on the pricey side at about $140, so do shop around. I got that at Priceline on sale for $90, which is a steal. And finally, we have Dior Homme Intense. This is the most expensive fragrance I'll be covering today, and it's at that limit of fragrances and the pricing between designer and niche. Dior Homme Intense is the sort of fragrance I associate with suit and tie, going out, spending a night out on the town. It's at that crossroads between soft and rough. It is very masculine, but the powdery quality of this, that sort of almost violet, almost iris quality of it, makes this one just so sophisticated. It's daring whilst also being extremely safe. A lot of people have been speaking about this over the last couple of years, and with good reason. In 15 years time, I honestly would not be surprised to see Dior Homme Intense on most people's top 10 fragrances of all time lists. This is just an iconic men's fragrance, and it's worth every single cent. So those are just some of my picks for designer, quiet luxury, old money style fragrances. What would your picks be, especially designer scents? If you've got one designer scent in particular that you would recommend for that sort of mood and aesthetic, let me know in the comments below. Let the community know in the comments below. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.